and welcome back to FrenchArena. Do you know how to differentiate the French partitive articles? Do you know when to use du or when to use de la or even when to use de? Well, then keep watching and find out how to use the French partitive articles correctly and confidently. Vous êtes prêts? C'est parti! Now, in the French language, when we want to talk about a part of something that is some or any, we use partitive article. These articles express an unspecified quantity of something, often something that cannot be counted. So for example, liquid, food, or even abstract things like patience. Now, we have four main partitive articles and they all depend on the gender and the number of the noun you are talking about. And so in this table that you are seeing here, we have the masculine singular partitive article, and this is du. Du, do. We then have the feminine singular partitive article, and this is de la, followed by de l'apostrophe, and this is most times used before a vowel or a silent H. And lastly, we have the plural version de, and this is used regardless of the gender. Now, let's take a closer look at gender and number alignments. Like I said, the French partitive articles must agree with the gender and number of the noun that they accompany. Let's take a look at sample sentences. For masculine singular du, I could say, for instance, il boit du café. Il boit du café. Before we continue, you might be wondering, okay, Sumo, what do you mean by partitive? How did you know café is masculine or is feminine? Click this link above to watch my video on the definite articles. Afterwards, you can equally watch the indefinite articles. This will help you understand when to know that a noun is masculine or a noun is feminine. I would advise to watch these videos first of all before venturing into partitive articles, as those ones give you the foundation. Let's continue. I can also say il y a du fromage dans le frigo. Il y a du fromage dans le frigo. Or nous achetons du riz. Nous achetons du riz. So you see, we use du before the masculine singular nouns. Each of these words, you can see that they're not countable. You can't really count rice, can you? Yeah, that's just it. Now for the feminine singular, we use de la before the feminine singular noun. For example, elle mange de la salade. Elle mange de la salade. I can also say, elle a de la patience. Elle a de la patience. And lastly, I can also say, j'ai envie de la soupe. J'ai envie de la soupe. Now, let's take a look at the third partitive article. Let's understand when to use de l'apostrophe. We use them before nouns, whether masculine or feminine, that start with a vowel or a silent H. Some examples are, il boit de l'eau. Il boit de l'eau. So you can see there it's L apostrophe before EAU. Il boit de l'eau. Another example, il faut acheter de l'huile d'olive. Il faut acheter de l'huile d'olive. You see, this is now used before H, a silent H. I wouldn't say l'huile, it doesn't even make sense. De l'huile, okay? Another example, tu as besoin de l'argent. Tu as besoin de l'argent. So you see, de l'argent. L is before what? A vowel. Lastly, let's take a look at plural nouns. Remember what I said? We use DES, de, regardless of the gender. So it can be used whether with masculine nouns or with feminine nouns, as long as it's plural. So for example, I could say, il mange des pommes. Il mange des pommes. Some apples. Okay, not an apple. Il mange des pommes. I can also say, je prends des fraises. Je prends des fraises. I can also say, nous avons des idées pour le projet. You see, you cannot count the ideas, but yeah, it's plural. I have a lot of ideas in my head. Nous avons des idées pour le projet. Sounds simple enough, right? But, as always, but with the French language, there are some rules that you need to know. In negative sentences, the partitive article usually becomes de, that's de, or d apostrophe. This is regardless of the gender or the number. This is what it becomes, de or d apostrophe. The d apostrophe if it's before a vowel or a silent H. Let's look at some sample sentences. I could say, je veux du pain. Je veux du pain. But then how does it become a negative sentence? It becomes, je ne veux pas de pain. Je ne veux pas de pain. Even though I know that bread is masculine, I wouldn't say, je ne veux pas du pain. No, it doesn't exist. In negative sentences, the partitive article simply becomes de, de. So whether it's masculine or it's feminine or it's plural, it becomes de. Another example, if I want to say I do not have milk. So if I have milk is what? J'ai du lait. J'ai du lait. But if I want to say I do not have milk, what do I say? Je n'ai pas de lait. Je n'ai pas de lait. If I want to say there is chocolate, I would say il y a du chocolat. Il y a du chocolat. But there is no chocolate. What would I say? Il n'y a pas de chocolat. Il n'y a pas de chocolat. Okay? Now let's look at sample sentences when I want to use D apostrophe. That is, it comes before a vowel or before a silent H. If I wanted to say I have oranges, it would have been j'ai des oranges. J'ai des oranges. But now if I want to say I do not have oranges, je n'ai pas d'orange. Je n'ai pas d'orange. It doesn't matter if it's plural, masculine, feminine. It doesn't matter, okay? It just becomes je n'ai pas d'orange. Why? Because it's before a vowel. Let's look at another example. If I wanted to say I have money, I would say j'ai de l'argent. J'ai de l'argent. But if I want to say I have no more money, what would I say? Je n'ai plus d'argent. Je n'ai plus d'argent. So do we see what I mean by the D apostrophe is before a vowel? Correct. Another exception to take note of, please. Partitive articles change to de when plural nouns are preceded by adjectives. Let me show you what I mean. If I wanted to say I have some friends, I would say j'ai des amis. J'ai des amis, right? That's the plural version. Now, with an adjective, I want to say I have some good friends. I would say j'ai de bons amis. J'ai de bons amis. Do you see I didn't say des? I didn't put des. I changed it to de. So you have to take note of this as well, please. Another example. Il y a de beaux livres sur la table. Il y a de beaux livres sur la table. Why? Beau is an adjective. You see? I would never say il y a des. No, it doesn't exist. Il y a de beaux livres sur la table. All right? I'm sure with this lesson, you've been able to understand the French partitive articles even better. Now, as always, you know I love giving you a quick quiz at the end just to test your knowledge. What I need for you to do is read this text I'm going to put on the screen, take a pen and paper, and pick out the French partitive articles that you see on the screen. If you want to do this on your own time, that's perfectly fine. All you need to do is input your name and email address in the link in the description box below. And today's PDF will be sent directly to your inbox with more sample sentences so that you can continuously practice the French partitive articles. With that being said, let's dive into the quiz. Ce matin, j'ai pris un café et mangé de la baguette fraîche pour commencer ma journée. Ensuite, je suis allée au marché local acheter des fruits frais pour faire une délicieuse salade de fruits. J'avais aussi besoin d'un peu d'huile d'olive pour faire une vinaigrette maison. Après avoir fini mes courses, je suis rentrée à la maison et j'ai réalisé que je n'avais plus de lait pour mon petit déjeuner demain. Tell me in the comment section below, were you able to speak out all the French partitive articles that I just read for you in that story? If you weren't, it's perfectly fine. You can watch this video over and over again until you're sure you've gotten the hang of French partitive articles. Remember what I said, you can equally just input your name and email address in the link in the description box below, and today's lesson will be sent directly to your inbox. It's completely free, and this just helps you continuously practice today's topic in order for you not to forget. Merci beaucoup d'avoir regardé. Please do not forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed today's lesson. Share with others who want to learn more about the French partitive articles. Please subscribe so that you will never miss a lesson from me. Until I see you in the next lesson, bonne journée.